There is a new way to turn power into money, and the most remarkable thing about it is that it appears to be completely legal. No briefcases of cash, no offshore accounts, no shell companies hiding in the Caribbean. Just a website, a digital token, and a famous name. And in 16 months, it generated more money for one family than their entire real estate empire produced in 8 years. This is the story of the Memecoin machine and how it quietly rewrote the rules of influence. Let me start with a number, because the number is the whole story. According to a Wall Street Journal investigation, a crypto venture called World Liberty Financial generated at least $1.4 billion for the Trump and Witkoff families since November 2024. The reporting breaks it down further. At least $1.2 billion in actual cash for the Trump family over roughly 16 months, plus another $2.25 billion in paper gains from tokens they still hold. The Witkoff family earned at least $200 million. Now here's the comparison that makes this land. For context, the same reporting notes that Trump's real estate empire, the hotels, the towers, the golf courses, the brand built over decades, took 8 years, from 2010 to 2017, to generate $1.2 billion in cash. The crypto venture matched that in 16 months. A name that took 40 years to build was suddenly worth more as a token than as a tower. So how does that actually work? To understand it, you have to understand the machine itself. A memecoin is a cryptocurrency with no real product behind it. No company, no earnings, no technology that does anything useful. Its entire value comes from attention and belief. From people buying it because other people are buying it. And the people who create the coin get to decide how much of it they keep for themselves. That last part is everything. Look at how the official Trump token worked. According to blockchain analysis and reporting from outlets like Reuters and CoinDesk, 1 billion tokens were created. Only a small fraction, around 20%, was actually sold to the public. The remaining 80% stayed with entities tied to the creators. Now think about what that does to the math. If you control 80% of the supply, and the public is fighting over the other 20%, every dollar of public excitement inflates the value of the enormous stake you already hold. You're not betting on the coin, you own the casino. Within 24 hours of launch, that token's paper value briefly hit a market capitalization of around $27 billion. The creators' affiliated companies, according to Chainalysis, earned roughly $320 million in trading fees alone. Not from the price going up, but simply from people trading the coin back and forth. Fees are charged on every transaction, so whether the price rises or crashes, the house collects on the action itself. And here is where the story turns from clever to controversial, because for every winner, someone has to be on the other side. Reuters estimated that the official Trump token generated about $616 million for the family and affiliated entities, while buyers collectively lost more than $700 million. The token has fallen roughly 97% from its January 2025 peak. Data from Chainalysis found that around 760,000 wallets, mostly small retail investors, lost money. A small group of insiders, just 58 wallets, each made more than 10 million. Researchers who studied the pattern described it bluntly. For roughly every dollar insiders earned, ordinary investors lost around 20. The wealth didn't appear from nowhere. It moved from hundreds of thousands of small buyers chasing a famous name into the pockets of the few who controlled the supply. That's not a side effect of the design. For a memecoin with concentrated ownership, that is the design. Now World Liberty Financial took this further, into territory that's harder to dismiss as ordinary speculation. The disclosures show that 75% of token sales flowed to a Trump-controlled entity, with the president owning 70% of that entity. Then came the deals that raised the sharpest questions. In January 2025, just before the inauguration, Abu Dhabi-backed investors bought 49% of World Liberty for $500 million. According to the New York Times, that deal was finalized as the UAE was seeking access to advanced American AI chips. The timing, a foreign government investing in the president's private venture while seeking favors from his government, is exactly why ethics experts have sounded alarms. There was another mechanism too. World Liberty took a controlling stake in a small Nasdaq company called Alt 5 Sigma. That company then raised $750 million from stock investors and used almost all of it to buy World Liberty's own tokens, at a price well above what private investors had recently paid. More than $500 million of that flowed to Trump entities. Afterward, Alt5's shares fell more than 75%. Money moved from public market investors through a corporate structure and out to the founders. The White House has denied any conflicts of interest, stating that the companies operate independently and that the president's assets are handled separately from his official duties. That denial matters, and it belongs in this story, because the central tension here isn't whether laws were broken, it's that this may all be perfectly legal. And that's the part worth sitting with. For most of modern history, there were guardrails between political power and personal enrichment. Bribery laws, disclosure rules, the expectation that officials divest from businesses that create conflicts. Those rules were written for a world of cash, contracts, and physical assets. They were not written for a world where a sitting official can launch a digital token overnight, keep 80% of it, and watch global buyers, including foreign governments, pour in money that flows straight to family-controlled accounts. The technology moved faster than the law, and in that gap, a new playbook was born. And this is the part that should hold your attention longest. It won't stop with one family. Once a method for converting fame and power into billions has been demonstrated this clearly, others follow. Politicians, celebrities, anyone with a large enough audience and few enough scruples now has a proven template. The Memecoin machine isn't really a crypto story. It's a story about what happens when an old system of accountability meets a new technology it never anticipated and discovers it has no answer. The numbers in this video come from reporting by the Wall Street Journal, Reuters, the New York Times, and blockchain analytics firms including Chainalysis. The families involved dispute that any of it constitutes a conflict of interest. You can look at the same facts and reach your own conclusion, and that's exactly the point. The machine works in the open. It hides nothing. It doesn't have to. If you want the financial systems of our era explained straight, no spin, no tribe, just the mechanics and the money, subscribe, because that's the entire reason this channel exists. And I want your honest take in the comments. When the law allows something like this, is the answer to change the law? Or is this simply the future of power and money fused together? Tell me where you land.